I want to start by telling you something powerful today, something that can change the trajectory of your life. You've been given a vision, not just any vision, but your vision, the one God planted deep inside your soul. It's unique, it's holy. It's designed for you to walk out your purpose, to live fully in the fullness of who you were created to be. Now, I know the past tries to come knocking on your door. The pain, the disappointments, the wounds you thought you had buried, they resurface. But listen to me, your past pain does not have the final say in your life. No matter what you've been through, no matter how deep the hurt, God is bigger. And he is calling you to a destiny that far outweighs your scars. Keep your eyes on that vision. When life gets heavy, when the enemy whispers lies about worth in your future, fix your gaze on the promise God gave you. Faith is not just believing, it's seeing beyond your circumstances, holding fast to the hope that what is coming is greater than what's behind you. You have everything it takes to overcome. The faith in your heart, the strength in your spirit, the resilience God built your DNA, use it. This is your season to break free from the chains of your past pain and step boldly into the purpose that's been waiting for you. Remember, your victory isn't just for you. Every person who needs to see that pain doesn't win, that your God-given vision is unstoppable. Your breakthrough is a beacon lighting the way for others who need hope. So I challenge you today, don't lose sight. Don't give up. Hold tight to that vision God gave you. Press through the pain. Overcome the past and watch as God unfolds a future so bright it will leave the world in awe. You were made for this moment. Keep your eyes on the vision and overcome. I want to speak to your heart today about the vision God has placed inside of you. It is so easy to look around and feel discouraged when you see others moving faster, accomplishing more, or seemingly living the dream you long for. But hear me clearly, the vision you carry isn't something you stumbled upon by accident. It is not a fleeting thought or a random desire. It is a divine gift, a sacred purpose crafted by the Creator himself just for you. When God gives a vision, he doesn't just give you a vague idea or a wish. He imprints a destiny on your soul, something so intricately designed that no one else on this earth can fulfill it like you. Your vision is personalized. It is unique. It is not a copy or a shadow of someone else's dreams. It is yours, perfectly molded to fit your gifts, your passions, your experiences, and your calling. Think about this. The Creator of the universe took the time to tailor a vision specifically for you. He didn't say, well, this will work for her, so I'll give it to everyone. No, he said, this is exactly what she was made for. And that alone should give you boldness to hold tight, to guard that vision with everything in you, because it is holy ground. But here's the thing. Sometimes the world will try to tell you otherwise. Sometimes people will say, that dream is too big, or you're not qualified, or even you're too damaged to live out that purpose. Don't let those words enter your spirit. When you know your vision is from God, you cannot let the opinions, doubts, or fears of others shake you. Remember, a vision isn't just about the destination, it's about the calling. It's about the why behind the dream. Why did God put that longing in your heart? Why does that picture keep playing in your mind, whispering that there is something more for you? Because the vision is the seed of your calling, and calling is what brings life to that seed. Without the divine calling behind it, your dream won't thrive. But when it's birthed by God's purpose, no force on earth can stop it. Let me remind you, too, that a vision isn't always about immediate success or visible results. Sometimes the vision requires patience, perseverance, and faith that feels like it's being tested every single day. But your vision will not die just because the road is long or because others don't understand it yet. It grows in the soil of your faith, and it is watered by your persistent hope. You may feel alone sometimes. You may wonder if you're the only one who believes in that dream. But God's vision is never given to isolate you. It is given to position you. It places you exactly where you need to be so that when the time comes, you can step into what he has prepared without hesitation. There is power in recognizing the uniqueness of your vision because it breaks you free from comparison. When you see your purpose as one of a kind, you stop measuring yourself against others. You stop trying to fit your life into someone else's mold. Instead, you begin to embrace who you are, the strengths, the weaknesses, the stories that shaped you. And you allow those things to work for you. Well, not against your past, your background, your experiences. They all become part of the tapestry God is weaving. Nothing is wasted. No moment in your journey is irrelevant. Every trial, every heartbreak, Every victory adds depth and color to your vision, making it richer and more powerful than you ever imagined. And listen, I want you to hear this clearly. Your vision is not just for your benefit. It's not about personal glory or fame. It is a divine assignment meant to impact generations. When you pursue your God-given vision, you are stepping into a legacy that reaches beyond your own life. You are creating a path for others to follow, lighting the way with your courage and your faith. Because the truth is, your vision carries the potential to heal others. It carries the power to change communities, to inspire hope in the hopeless, and to bring light to places that have known only darkness. You are a vessel for God's purpose, and your vision is the way that purpose moves forward in this world. That's why it is so important to hold tightly to it, to guard it fiercely against doubt and discouragement. When fear tries to whisper in your ear, remind yourself who gave you the vision in the first place. When the enemy tries to convince you to quit or to settle, remember that God's plan for you is too big for defeat. You were not given this vision by accident. You were not given it because you are perfect, because the road will be easy. You were given it because God believes in you, because he sees the strength in your heart, even when you don't see it yourself, because he has equipped you for the journey, even if the path looks uncertain right now. So when you feel like giving up, when the pain of your past or the weight of the present tries to pull you down, remember that vision, remember that calling. Remember that it is sacred and unique to you. No one else can do what you were made to do. Stand firm, stand tall, and let that vision be the fire that fuels your every step. I want to speak directly to your something soul about so many of us carry quietly. The weight of our past pain, the memories, the wounds, the disappointments, and the failures. They often feel like chains wrapped tightly around our hearts, threatening to hold us back from the future God has for us. But I'm here to tell you today that your past pain does define who you are. It's not the final chapter of your story. Sometimes it feels like the pain we've endured becomes our identity. We start to believe the lies that we are broken beyond repair or that the hurt is all we will ever know. But I want you to hear this truth loud and clear. And pain is part of your story, but it is not the whole story. It is a season, a moment in time, not the definition of your life. I know it's hard because pain has a way of sticking around. It tries to convince you that you are limited by your past failures or by the trauma you've experienced. It whispers things like, you're too damaged to dream again, or you don't deserve to be happy. But those are lies from the enemy designed to keep you stuck in the very place God is calling you to leave behind. Your past may have been marked by rejection, loss, or heart attach. Maybe you've been through broken relationships, disappointment in your career, or deep loneliness. Maybe you carry scars that no one else sees, wounds so raw that they sometimes feel unbearable. But God is bigger than all of that. And he is saying to you right now, I am making all things new. There is a story in the Bible that I want you to hold on to. It's the story of Joseph, sold by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, and later imprisoned unjustly. His past was painful, filled with betrayal and hardship. But Joseph did not allow his pain to define him. Instead, he held on to the vision God had given him. And in time, he rose to a place of power and purpose, using everything he'd endured to save nations. Your story can be like Joseph's. Your pain doesn't disqualify you from your destiny. It can actually prepare you for it. The trials you've faced have shaped you, strengthened your faith, and deepened your understanding of God's grace. That pain, as heavy as it feels now, you can become the very thing that propels you forward when you choose not to be defined by it. I want to remind you that healing is a process, not a one-time event. Sometimes you have to walk through the pain before you walk out of it. And that's okay. Don't rush yourself or feel shame if you need time to grieve, to pray, or to seek help. God is patient with you. He meets you in your brokenness and gently calls you toward restoration. You have to decide, though, will you let your past pain be a prison, or will you use it as a platform for growth? Will you let bitterness and anger take root, or will you choose forgiveness and freedom? When you make the choice to rise above, to let go of what held you captive, you open the door for God's healing power to move in your life. It's also important to understand that overcoming your past pain is not just about forgetting what happened. It's about learning from it, growing from it, and transforming it into testimony. When you turn your pain into purpose, you become a living example of God's redeeming love. Your breakthrough becomes a beacon of hope to others who feel trapped by their own wounds. There's a beautiful promise in Scripture that says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 14:7G3, that means God is actively working in your life to heal those places you thought were too broken to mend. He is not distant or indifferent to your pain. He is intimately involved, ready to restore and renew. You may not see it now, but every tear you've cried has been watering the soil for new growth. Every moment of hardtacky has been shaping your character and building your resilience. The past pain you carry has a purpose. It teaches empathy, it fosters compassion, and it deepens your dependence on God. I want to encourage you to start speaking life over your story. Instead of saying, I'm a victim of my past, start saying, I am a victor through Christ who strengthens me. Speak words of faith and hope, because what you say about yourself matters. The narrative you choose to believe will either keep you chained or set you free. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the wounds inflicted on you. You are not the failures or the setbacks. You are a child of God, fearfully and wonderfully made, with a purpose so powerful that no pain can erase it. There is freedom waiting for you on the other side of that pain, but you have to be willing to step into it. You have to be willing to leave behind the weight of your past and walk forward with courage. God's grace is sufficient and His strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you begin to embrace this truth, you start to rewrite your story. You begin to see that your pain was never meant to be your identity. It was meant to be your teacher, your refining fire. And when you choose to overcome, you not only transform your own life, you become a source of light for others struggling in the darkness. So don't let your past pain keep you stuck. Don't let it tell you who you are or what you can become. There is a future waiting for you, a future filled with hope, healing, and purpose. And it all begins the moment you decide to no longer be defined by yesterday, but to walk boldly into the destiny God has prepared for you. There is something extraordinary about faith and focus. When combined, they become unstoppable forces that can carry you through the toughest storms, the darkest nights, and the most challenging seasons of life. I want to understand today that faith and focus are not just nice qualities to have. They are your superpowers. They are the divine weapons God has given you to move mountains, to silence doubt, and to keep your eyes locked on the vision He placed in your heart. First, let's talk about faith. Faith is more than just believing in God's existence. It's about trusting Him when you can't see the way forward. Faith is the confidence that what God has promised will come to pass, even when your current circumstances tell a different story. It's hope in action. It's the anchor that keeps your soul steady when the winds of life try to blow you off course. The Bible says in Hebrews 11:1, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That means faith gives you a tangible grip on the unseen. It's the invisible thread that connects your present struggle to future victory. Without faith, it's easy to get discouraged. Without faith, the pain and setbacks become louder than the promises of God. But faith alone is not enough. Faith without action or direction can leave you spinning in circles, waiting for something to happen without moving toward it. That's where focus comes in. Focus is the discipline to keep your eyes on the prize. It's the decision to tune out distractions, doubts, and fears so you can walk steadily toward your vision. Think about this. Every great accomplishment in history happened because someone kept their focus on their goal despite obstacles. Focus is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's the daily commitment to say, I will not be deterred. I will not give up. Focus sharpens your vision, making it clearer, stronger, and more resilient. When faith and focus work together, they create a powerful momentum. Faith fuels your belief that the vision is possible. Focus directs your energy toward making that vision a reality. Without faith, focus can become rigid and legalistic, missing the heart behind the calling. Without focus, faith can become wishful thinking, lacking the persistence needed to break through challenges. Here's the truth: life will try to steal your focus. There will be distractions, criticism, and moments when everything inside you screams to quit. The enemy wants to pull your attention away from the vision God gave you and fix it on fear, comparison, or pain. But you have a choice to keep your eyes on the prize no matter what. Remember, your vision is a gift from God, and it deserves your full attention. When you focus on God's purpose, your perspective shifts. You begin to see obstacles as opportunities, failures as lessons, and delays as part of God's perfect timing. Your faith grows stronger because your focus reminds you why you started and where you're headed. I want to encourage you to develop habits that protect your faith and sharpen your focus. Spend time in prayer and meditation on God's word to build your faith. Surround yourself with people who believe in your vision and will encourage you when you feel weak. Limit distractions that pull you away from your purpose, whether it's negative relationships, toxic environments, or the endless noise of the world. Another key to maintaining focus is to break your vision into actionable steps. Sometimes the big picture can feel overwhelming and it's easy to get discouraged. But when you focus on small, consistent actions, your faith is put into motion. Each step forward is a victory, a building block toward the fulfillment of your dream. And don't forget, faith is not passive. It's active and bold. It requires you to move even when you don't have all the answers, to take risks when the path isn't clear, and to keep going when the outcome feels uncertain. Your faith will be tested, but that's when it grows strongest. I want you to think about a time when you faced a challenge but decided to hold on, when you refused to let go of your vision despite the pain or the setbacks. That moment was faith and focus working together. That moment was your superpower in action. You have to remember, the vision God gave you is not meant to be a burden. It's meant to be a beacon. It's meant to inspire you, to give you purpose, and to bring you joy. When your faith and focus are aligned, you will find a peace that surpasses understanding, even in the midst of trials. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you feel invisible, moments when the world tells you no. But that's exactly when faith and focus rise up. Keep your eyes on the vision. Trust God's promises and refuse to be distracted by the noise around you. Faith reminds you that God is bigger than your problems. Focus reminds you that your purpose is bigger than your pain. Together, they equip you to overcome, to endure, and to thrive. So stand firm, stand strong, harness your faith and sharpen your focus. Let them be the foundation that carries you through every challenge and every breakthrough. Because when faith and focus unite in your life, nothing can stop the vision God has placed in your heart. I want to speak to you today about a calling that is bigger than yourself. A calling not only to overcome your past pain, but to rise up as a source of hope and inspiration for others. The journey you're on is not just about your own breakthrough. It's about lighting the way for those who are walking behind you, those who need to see that victory is possible, no matter the obstacles. And you were created with purpose, and part of that purpose is to be a beacon, to stand tall and say, I made it through the storm, to share your story so that others who are hurting can find courage in your testimony. When you overcome, you become more than just a survivor. You become a leader, a guide, a source of strength for those who feel lost or broken. The truth is, your breakthrough is not just for you. It is for every person who has ever felt hopeless, for every soul who has faced rejection, pain, or despair. Your victory becomes a living testimony of God's faithfulness. It says to the world, no matter what you've been through, you can rise again. And that message carries power. It carries healing. It carries transformation. When you embrace this calling, you begin to see your pain and your past in a new light. It no longer holds you captive. Instead, it becomes a bridge that connects you to others who need to cross from darkness to light. Your scars become marks of honor, proof that God can bring beauty out of ashes. Remember, many of the greatest leaders, influencers, and change makers in history have been shaped by their pain. Their stories of overcoming became the fuel for movements, the foundation for ministries, and the inspiration for generations. Your story can be one of those stories. But this calling to inspire does not mean your journey will be easy. In fact, sometimes it feels like the weight of others' expectations can be heavy. You may worry that sharing your pain will make you vulnerable or that your breakthrough isn't big enough. But the beauty of this calling is that it's not about perfection, it's about authenticity. People don't need perfect stories, they need real ones. They need to hear how you struggled, how you fell, how you got up again. They need to know that even when life was messy, God's grace was sufficient. Your willingness to be open and transparent is what brings healing to others. It's what breaks chains of shame and silence. I want to encourage you to lean into this calling with boldness. Speak your truth with courage. Use your voice to uplift those who are weary. I share your vision and your victories not to boast, but to give glory to God and to remind others that they can do the same. Your influence is not limited to grand stages or millions of followers. Sometimes When the most profound impact happens in quiet moments, in a conversation with a friend, in a gesture of kindness, in a simple act of encouragement. Don't underestimate the power you have to inspire the people around you. Also understand that your overcoming is a process, not a single event. There will be days when you feel strong and days when you feel weak. But through it all, your commitment to rise again is what makes you a true example of resilience. It shows others that healing is possible, that growth is ongoing, and that faith can move mountains. You may have been tempted to hide your story because you thought it was too painful or too personal, but I want you to know this: your story is exactly what someone else needs to hear. When you share your journey, you create connection. You build bridges where there were walls. You bring light into dark places. The enemy will try to discourage you, to keep you silent, to make you believe your story doesn't matter. But God is calling you to be brave. He's calling you to be a witness to his grace and power. You have been given this platform for a reason, and your story is a vital part of his plan. Inspire others by the way you live your life. Let your daily choices reflect the victory you've claimed. Show kindness when it's easier to be bitter. Choose forgiveness when holding on to anger would be simpler. Walk forward with faith when the future looks uncertain. Your life becomes a living sermon of hope and perseverance. And don't forget that inspiring others also feeds back into your own strength. When you share your journey and hear the stories of others, you realize you are not alone. You become part of a community of survivors, fighters, and believers. Together, you lift each other higher. Your call to overcome and inspire is a sacred responsibility. It's a mantle you wear not just for yourself, but for generations to come. Your victory breaks cycles of pain, transforms families, and changes communities. It's the legacy you leave behind. So embrace the fullness of your calling. Walk boldly in your healing and your purpose. Be a light in the darkness. And know that every step you take forward is a step that invites someone else to follow. As we come to the close of this moment together, I want you to carry these truths deep within your spirit. And your past pain does not define you. It may have shaped parts of your journey, but it is not the final word. Keep your eyes fixed on the vision God has placed in your heart, the beautiful, bold, and purposeful future he is calling you into. Remember, faith and focus are your superpowers. They are the tools God has given you to cut through distraction, silence doubt, and move steadily toward your destiny. When you combine unwavering faith with relentless focus, nothing can stand in your way. And as you rise, don't forget you are called not just to overcome, but to inspire. Your story, your testimony, your victory, it's meant to light the path for others walking through their own valleys. Your healing becomes a beacon of hope, your strength a source of encouragement. So stand firm today. Stand strong. Hold fast to that vision. Let your past pain be the foundation, not the barrier. Trust God's timing. Walk boldly in your purpose and know that every step forward is a step into the destiny designed just for you. Keep your eyes on that vision and watch how God uses your story to transform not only your life, but the lives of countless others. Your breakthrough is coming. Keep going.